Welcome to the Operation Bohica podcast. My name is Kevin, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on this past Sunday's win by my team, the New York Jets, who defeated the Cleveland Browns 27 to 20 and got their second straight win after an 0-7 start. Um, Usually, I tend to show my face in these videos, but due to some lighting issues, I won't be able to do that today. But I will get that taken care of. This was a kind of a different experience for me. I was out in Las Vegas this past weekend watching the game. Wow, what a city Las Vegas, Nevada is. I was very surprised. Had a really good time out there. I ended up going to one of the hotels in Vegas, and sports is very serious in Las Vegas, a lot more than what I could have ever imagined. So there was in one of the hotels, there was this big sports center, so they're showing the games on the screens. In the four big screens, they weren't showing the Jets game, but they were showing the Jets game on one of the smaller screens. So let's get right to it. In the first that first drive of the game, the defense did not come out prepared. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the Cleveland Browns were able to get a touchdown on the first drive of the game to go up 7-0. And then after that, the game completely turned on its head. And it was because of the special teams. You got to give Chris Banjo, the special teams coach, a lot of credit. This Jets special teams, man, it's been great. It's been great. So the often injured, I butcher his name, Nene Ngwandu, got a 99-yard kick return for a touchdown. And so it tied the game at 7. So I'm like, all right, I'm loving it. And then the defense steps up. The Browns offense goes 3 and out. And then Isaiah Williams, who had been a little bit maligned earlier in the season, he makes it 14-0. I think it was a 74 or a 7. Yeah, it was a 74-yard punt return. And in the blink of an eye, the New York Jets are up 14-7. And hey, I'm out there. I'm loving every minute of it. And so at the end of the first quarter, it was 14-7 Jets. Uh, First play basically of the second quarter, the first offensive play by the Jets of the second quarter. Justin Fields throws his first interception of the season. You know, tough. Kind of swings the momentum a little bit. But the Jets defense, excuse me, on the next play, Dylan Gabriel throws a 22-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was giving the Jets secondary the business, whether it was Brandon Stevens or whether it was Jason Brownlee Jr., who had to step in due to the injury by A.Z. Thomas, who ended up getting a concussion and probably won't play against the Patriots. And so just like that, it was 14-14. Um, the second quarter was basically just kind of a battle of attrition. The Jets ended up getting a field goal to go up 17-14. And then in the final drive of the first half, uh, Cleveland goes 7 plays, 34 yards, and are able to kick a field goal as time expired. Unfortunately, I myself as a fan, I was kind of like, come on, y'all. There probably wasn't any excuse for that. Having said that, it is what it is. And so the game was tied at 17 going into halftime. It was pouring rain out in MetLife Stadium, so the passing game was not going to be that great for either side. With that being said, in the fourth quarter, things started picking up a little bit. The Jets' offense was still struggling, but the play of the game, the play that broke things open on that 2nd and 17, which by the way, going before I say anything about the touchdown, that was a terrible play call by Tanner Engstrom. They tried to get a little cute, and so it was a loss of 7 on that. They tried to do that razzle dazzle by John Mechie. That didn't work out. Having said that, the next play, Justin Fields throws a screen pass to Brees Hall. Justin Fields, man, he got rocked. He got rocked. um, when he threw the ball, but Brees Hall catches it, and then good blocking by the offensive line, particularly Joe Tippmann. Joe Tippmann has been another bright spot for the Jets. The offensive line overall was a bright spot in that game, and Brees Hall takes it to the house, 42 yards for a touchdown. Brees Hall had a great game. What he had, 21 rushes for 83 yards. He had a big 30-yarder as well in that game. So, good thing the Jets didn't trade Brees Hall. I think he'll stay. I'm hopeful that he stays. Justin Fields, oh my God, man. I don't know. I think maybe he just doesn't fit that offensive scheme or the offensive play calling style of Tanner Engstrom. I've said this before, so I'm going to say this again. As a quarterback, your stats should not be someone's date of birth. Like he had, what was it? He was like 7 of 14 for 45 yards a few weeks back. That's somebody's date of birth. Here we go again. There's somebody out there whose date of birth is 6/11/54 because those are Justin Fields stats. 6 for 11 for 54 yards. He did have that 42-yard touchdown. He threw his first pick of the season. He had got sacked 3 times. If you take away the 42-yard touchdown by Brees Hall, Justin Fields, he would have been what 5 of 10 for 11 yards. My man Justin Fields just does not have any confidence right now, and the Jets won in spite of him. The special teams, got things done. Brees Hall did his thing. I'll give props to the defense. It wasn't perfect by any means, but they got the job done. I got to give props to Tony Adams. He's not had a good season, but he was all over the place this past Sunday. He had 8 solo tackles. Malachi Moore, I'm telling you, Malachi Moore is a star in the making. He had eight. He had 8 total tackles as well. Quincy Williams, you got to give him props. His brother gets traded to Dallas, then he gets benched. He loses his starting job, and he went out there. He had a very nice game. He had 8 total tackles. He had a sack, 2 tackles for loss. Isaiah Oliver had a good game. Jamie and Sherwood stepped it up. But the star of the defense was Will McDonald with 4 sacks. My man, it was looking like 1984 Mark Gastineau out there. Brandon Stevens, even though he got burned by Jerry Judy, he had a solid performance. Uh, Jarvis Brownlee, good performance in spite of the fact that, I mean, hey, look, it's Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy is that dude. So we got to give Jerry Judy props. So the defense stepped it up. Uh, they were pressuring Dylan Gabriel constantly. Dylan Gabriel, 17 of 32, a buck 67. He had 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think that Dylan Gabriel is okay, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to take the Cleveland Browns to, you know, the next level. Uh, I'm really not surprised that the Jets won. Cleveland is a very bad 2-7 team. Uh, Obviously, they were 2-6 going into this game, but they're reeling. They know their season is over. Like I said, Dylan Gabriel is okay. He was nice at Oregon. He was very good when he played for Oregon, but I don't think he's that great of a pro quarterback. I know Henry, you asked me about that earlier. As far as Shador Sanders, because that's what it really comes down to, is Shador Sanders going to get any playing time? I was talking to some of the guys out there in Vegas, and I'm going to say this here on this video. As long as Kevin Stefanski is the coach of the Cleveland Browns, Shador Sanders will not see the field. That's it. I don't know if it's something personal. I don't know. Maybe the organization, the higher ups in the Cleveland organization, are instructing Kevin Stefanski to not play Shador Sanders. But Shador Sanders is not going to see the field as long as Kevin Stefanski is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. I talked about Brees Hall, 21 carries, 83 yards. Justin Fields, he did have 7 carries for 28 yards. Uh, on the Cleveland side, Quinshawn Jenkins, 22 rushes for 75 yards. He was nice. He was nice. Dylan Gabriel had some nice runs, especially in a couple of those drives. Oh, excuse me. He went 5 for 54. Malachi Corley, had 32 yards rushing, the former Jet. But, Malachi Corley, he's not going to get a lot of burn for Cleveland. Jerry Judy was the man. 6 catches, 78 yards for a touchdown. And then David Njoku had that 12-yard touchdown early in the game on the first drive. But other than that, he basically got neutralized. And speaking of getting neutralized, I spoke about Will McDonald having 4 sacks. Miles Garrett only 3 tackles. He had a sack. But if you're really being honest, Miles Jenkins, as great as he is, and he is great, he really was not much of a factor in the game. So give uh give the Jets offensive line props. They were a bright spot. I don't think, let me see, the Jets had there were some penalties there. Uh Let me see, just give me a second here. But Cleveland was very undisciplined. 10 penalties for 68 yards, including the big one at the end of the game on that fourth down. You knew that the Jets were not going to snap that ball. And yet, again, an undisciplined performance by the Cleveland Browns defense. Cameron Thomas, who's probably should get cut by the Cleveland Browns, he jumped on that fourth down, and that was it. The Jets grinded out another win, just like they grinded out the win a couple of weeks ago against Cincinnati. This win coming off the bye, coming off trading Sauce Gardner, coming off trading Quinn Williams. I do think that the defense showed a little more spunk, a little more fire, a little more desire than maybe when Quinn and Sauce were there. You could see the Jets defense really getting after it. And the thing that I saw also with the Jets defense that maybe in the weeks prior I hadn't noticed, there was no quit. There was no quit in the Jets defense. I know particularly in the Dallas game, I saw that Jets defense they just straight up quit. That did not happen in this game. So you got to give props to them for that. You got to give props for the Jets winning in spite of Justin Fields, really. I don't know what to say. I was really hopeful that he'd have a better performance. He's had a couple of good performances, particularly the Steelers game. He was all right against Miami, but Justin Fields has been hit and miss. He played well against Cincinnati, relatively well, but he's hit and miss, and obviously he's not going to be the quarterback of the future, which is a shame because he seems like he's a good dude outside of football. But unfortunately, being a good person outside of football doesn't always translate to the football field. But again, the Jets on a 2-game winning streak, and we basically own the state of Ohio, beating the Cincinnati Bengals and then the Cleveland Browns. Now we're going to have a big test this coming Thursday, tomorrow night. We're going to be playing the New England Patriots, who have really turned things around under Mike Rabel and Drake May. Boy, that was a good performance against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a team that we should have beaten earlier this season, but that's a whole other conversation. Uh, do I think that the Jets could beat the Patriots? Yes, I do. Uh, one more thing. Garrett Wilson didn't have any catches. He hurt his knee. He'll be out for a few weeks. So that's going to be a tough blow for the Jets. But the Jets are showing character, which is one of the most important things that a football team can have. They're starting to fight for Aaron Glenn. They're starting to play harder for Aaron Glenn. They are starting to believe in the message that Aaron Glenn is trying to transmit. So, do I think the Jets will beat the Patriots? I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So, I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to go New York Jets 24, New England Patriots 17. I'm just going to call it like I see it. I'll probably do a watch along tomorrow night for that game, which will be on Amazon Prime. I'm going to hold the faith that the Jets can go 10-7. And so those are my thoughts. Again, I think the Jets. I mean, look, the Patriots are playing great football. They're cooking. Mike Rabel has turned that organization around. So obviously they'll be in the playoffs this year. But again, I'm gonna call for the upset on Thursday Night Football. New York Jets 24, New England Patriots 17. If I'm wrong, hey, I'll man up and admit that I'm wrong. I've been wrong for many years about many Jets games that I predicted. So those are my thoughts on the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. This is the Operation Bohica podcast, and I am out.